Hello, welcome to From the Producer's Office. I'm James Clutton, Chief Executive Director of Opera at Opera Holland Park. My guest today is Alison Langer, someone who I've been close to for a number of years now, who I've had the great pleasure of seeing develop as an artist and a great privilege to now call her a close friend.
Oh,
Alison.
hello. What a lovely introduction.
Well, there you go. Well, I couldn't read your writing on the thing, but I tried my best. Thanks for coming in.
You're very welcome.
Let's go back right to the beginning. When you were growing up, music around the house generally, or
Music was everywhere in my house,
really?
actually. Yes. So my mum was more the singer. My dad has a lovely singing voice, but he was an actor. So they met in an amateur theatre company,
Ah, lovely.
and so it's always been in our household. And I'd grow up, coming down for breakfast, and Classic FM would be on the radio. My mum loves classical music.
Right.
I was more of a musical theatre fan, so I tried to go
Okay.
down that route. But yeah, I think the if I was going to say the people I listened to the most were Celine Dion, Craig David. Very, very different. I really tried to steer clear of opera, but my ear would always be, looking for the radio and thinking, oh, I like this voice. And it was always Emma Kirkby.
Right.
So whenever Emma Kirkby
Okay.
came on the
Very
radio, or
nice.
my mum had a CD of hers,
Mhm.
I would really tune into her
Yeah,
singing and think,
nice.
oh, this is absolutely beautiful. But me being me and stubborn was like, but I still don't like it. I
Yeah.
want to do musical theatre, and
Fantastic.
yeah.
It's strange you say that because I get asked a lot of people I know about singers and how did they first know that they would sing an opera? And do you
Yeah.
remember what? Because if you sing in musical theatre, what was that at
So for me, it was
school?
yeah, it was at church actually. So
Right.
at church, I sang classical. So I was I'm Irish Catholic mother, so I grew up Catholic, and I remember being in church when I was 7 years old, and I heard this singing and turned around, and there was a choir, and
Nice.
thought I need to be up there. This is way better being up there than
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
down here. So from the age of 7, I sang in a church choir. So I really
Oh,
learned
wow,
how
that
to
young.
sing. Yeah, that young. I learned how
Right.
to sing classically. Had the most incredible choir mistress called Joan, who I loved dearly. I sang at her funeral a few years ago, and but she really, really, paved the way. But they would all say, "Oh, I started off in the alto section," and then she would say, "You're a soprano. You need to be singing in the soprano." So then I was learning about it on the job, I suppose, as I go. You
Right.
learn all the things. But then I got very interested in the local amateur dramatic society, who were putting on Carousel, Oklahoma, and
All great shows.
all great shows, all
Yeah.
my favourites. As
Yeah.
soon as I heard and got involved in that, then I was hooked. It was way better than going to choir practice on a Thursday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what I didn't realise was that I was learning to sight read in choir. I was learning all the things that, it was a great way of learning about sight reading, about music
But did
theory.
you have music lessons as well?
I had singing lessons at school, but
Right.
not really. I didn't really want to. I was always flitting from one thing to the other. I wanted to do. I did the bassoon for 6 weeks, then I did the clarinet for a few months,
Right.
which I did enjoy. But I was always looking for the next thing
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
But singing was the sort of the constant thing that I did.
Yeah.
But as long as I could perform, I didn't really like practicing.
Right. So the performing thing was at the same time, really.
Yes,
That
it
just
was.
became singing and performing.
Yeah,
You know,
singing
I
and
mean,
performing, being
yeah.
on the stage there was nothing like it. I couldn't beat it.
Do you remember the first time you were on stage?
Yes. Yes. At school, singing once in Royal David City.
Oh.
And we had these auditions. And I remember, how old are you when you're in year 6? Probably 10, 11.
Right.
Stepping up onto the stage and being like, why is anyone else auditioning for this? I'm going to get this. Just
So
because
nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
well, I don't know about that. But I was the only singer. I was in my class. So
Right.
really, it was sort of like no one else was that interested in it.
Yeah.
So I was always I couldn't wait to get to year 6 to do the school musical.
Nice.
But on our year, they decided not to do a musical and to do a film with no singing at all. And I had one line and I was livid.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was
It's
absolutely
good that
livid.
you've got rid of that as the years
Yeah,
have
yeah, I
gone
haven't
on.
held on to that at all.
Yeah. But going through all of that then, is there a moment then when you thought much later, okay, that could be a job, that singing?
Yeah, I don't think I actually ever thought about anything else.
Really?
Yeah, I really didn't. One time I thought a barrister because I thought, I would love to stand up and be like, "You're
Very,
guilty."
very theatrical.
It's very theatrical.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I heard that you had to do all the other stuff academically, I went, "Oh no, I'll be a singer. It's fine." But I wanted to do musical theatre. That was my
Yeah.
absolute goal.
Right.
And I still ended up. I just always ended up falling back into classical singing or classical training, just because that's where my voice was. I couldn't force my voice to belt. It just wasn't in me.
Yeah.
But when I sang "Oh, for the Wings of a Dove" growing up, or all the, "I Know That My Redeemer Liveth" in the Children's Messiah, it was easy, but I just didn't enjoy it at the time as much as I did musical
Sure.
theatre.
And did your parents sort of like you going into it?
My parents were great because they just encouraged me to do both at the same time. So I was allowed to be in the Amateur Dramatic Society as long as I also did the church choir as well,
Yep,
which I actually didn't want to leave. I enjoyed both.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I became the head girl in the church choir. So I clearly just love having importance. It's making me sound terrible.
Fantastic. No, yeah, absolutely. It's soprano, of course.
Exactly.
No, it's great because we first got to know each other. You were at Guildhall, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Guildhall.
I think I just finished Guildhall, yeah.
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 And you came and did a little tour for us of, little performances of Pirates of Penzance.
Yeah, that's right.
That was fun.
That was really fun. That was so fun, actually. It was I'd done Pirates of Penzance with my amateur theatre.
Oh, really?
So I knew it really well and thought, this is...
But it was great because if you remember, for those, obviously people weren't there, we did it as part of our Inspire project and we had loads of kids around, didn't we? Went to schools and did it. It was amazing.
And I think we went to a home for people with dementia as well.
We did.
And we got them together.
Yeah.
Which was amazing to watch the two.
There's some lovely photos on there because there's all of the kids with their swords they were making with the older people. That was a wonderful thing. So that was the first time we got to know each other properly. But then a couple of years later, we asked you to come be a young artist for us.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about the young artist time?
Because it was I was a bit shocked that I got it. I don't know if you remember, but I felt like I did a terrible audition for you.
I don't remember that at all.
But that's just now what I've realised. I think every audition I do is terrible. So
right, okay.
That's the thing. But yes, when I got offered that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is a humongous role, Violetta.
Yeah.
And I could tell it was going to be a hit because we had an amazing team singing in the main cast, had an amazing team, the creatives.
Yeah.
And I started having imposter syndrome. Oh God, what am I doing? I should, this will be me really entering. Now I'd already been through opera training at Guildhall, but I still had this, maybe I should still go off and try and do musical theatre.
Okay.
But Violetta really made me realise what I was capable of doing. And I realised that all along, the reason why I was pushing against classical music is because I didn't think I could do it. Okay. I didn't have the usual training, like I didn't go to Oxford or Cambridge and do music theory. Yeah. I still sometimes now have to go, what's this key signature?
Yeah, no, sure.
Because that's just not the way I learn. I learn through performance.
But that young artist, for anyone listening or watching that doesn't know, our young artist scheme is a great scheme. We're very proud of it. And we have your own rehearsal room and your associate directors and conductors, and you get public performances. And at that point, coming out of Guildhall, I guess that was a big moment.
It was.
An extra sort of first sort of step, but without going the whole way.
It really, really was. It was like it was like you'd taken a chance and to trust me with such a huge role.
And it's a big one.
It's a big one, James. Let's not beat around the bush. It's probably one of the biggest out there.
Yeah.
And I just thought, right, I'm going to prove myself with this. I'm going to do my absolute best. And I think I was actually doing Follies at the time at the National Theatre. In fact, I was at Blackfriars Station when I got the call from my agent to tell me I got it.
Nice.
And I was thinking, okay, I'm going down this route, but then this just pulled me back, And it was a real. What was great about it was that I was working with Josephine Barstow in Follies. We were singing together, and I told her, I've just been given the Violetta Young Artist. Do you fancy going through the role with me? And she did. She sat there and went through the whole thing.
What a lovely thing.
She was amazing.
What a lovely thing.
Yes.
I mean, because that was a big moment for us, because it was because when we do the Young Artist Scheme, giving big roles away can be worrying because you don't want to do harm to the singer. as well.
course.
But we were really excited about you. I remember that really clearly.
I think also when you say young artist, for me, it was young artist.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know.
I started a bit later.
But I think with that, it's about the role as well then, isn't it? And
Yeah.
we were, it was a great time. But I think the young artist thing for me, and I mean, you've been through, you were sort of the poster girl for our young artist thing. We'll come back to this later. But being a young artist, years go by and now you're doing all these massive roles for us. So I always say with the young artist scheme, it's good. The people who support it, the people who donate to it, they help us with, they help you as an artist individually. They help the ecosystem of opera.
Yeah.
And they help us because we wouldn't have been in a position to give you these big roles if you hadn't proved it on a young artist scheme.
Yeah.
It's a lovely
So
thing,
true.
I think. It's
I
a
think
really,
that's why giving us a show to do
Yeah.
in the evening with all the chorus, with all the
Yeah.
backstage team, you are doing the role.
yeah.
It helps you as well to say, okay, if I can do that, then I am ready for this. That's what it did for me.
Yeah.
And then I was introduced to all the wonderful people at Holland Park who do support the Young Artist Programme.
Yeah, it's a nice thing, Ali, isn't it? I mean, you've met people who supported you as a young artist and as role support since. I mean, psychologically, I mean, obviously it just helps us as a company, but psychologically, does it help when people start supporting you personally?
Yeah, it really does. And actually, it's one of my favourite things about when I do come and sing a role in the summer is after the show, seeing all those that have seen me, all the supporters that have seen me through it.
Yeah.
And just saying, gosh, you've been there from the start, and them
Yeah.
saying, we knew you could do it. And you just I sort of look back and go, I wish I'd known I could do it back then, because
Yeah.
and it just gives you this boost, and then you see all the other young artists coming through.
Yeah.
And I think this is a scheme that really works because it gives you confidence that you're in a very safe environment as well. Very safe.
I think that's really good to know. I mean, I think I always say this about our young artists, that it does put pressure on people, but the sort of controlled pressure, we support people as much as we can. But, your job now, it's a pressure job. I mean, the only other job in a similar way, not of, obviously the Prime Minister and things, but a performing job, it's stand-up comedians, I always think is similar because you're just out there.
Yeah.
You're on your own. If you're doing Violetta or if you're doing, any soprano or tenor role, you're out there and it's you, really.
It is. You're leading the cast. When you're Violetta, you are.
Yeah.
Whether you want to or not, you are the steer of the ship.
Yeah.
Because you have to be able to. There are so many factors to consider. So I have to be able to say at this point, I need to be able to sing this way, or I need to be able to take a quick swig of water, or
sure.
And so you're sort of controlling. And what works when you do a role like Violetta is if you have an amazing director, which I just did with Regula, who I just adore.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's incredible, and I sort of felt like I was leading. I was almost directing it this time round. I don't know. I could say something. Yes, if that works for you, because it has to work for you.
I think that's right. We'll come back to that in a bit because I think we're going in a bit of a circle. But I think that's that leading on from that, because then you first worked with Regula properly, not in the Young Artists. The following year we did Ballo and Maschera together with you singing Oscar.
I loved that.
That was a great show.
It was so good.
Now we're bringing it back next summer, but you're not coming back, and we'll explain why in a moment. But the Ballo and Maschera was a great production as well, wasn't it?
Oh, it was incredible. That's when I felt like musical theatre and opera fused together for me.
Yeah.
Just in the character I was playing, because Regula gave me so much freedom to be this flamboyant Oscar that was sort of, very androgynous, very, we danced in it, which I was delighted by. And everything I offered, she said, to a point. Obviously there were some things I had to say no to. But that's what was brilliant about it. And the best bit in the whole opera, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a big scene change with lots of wooden panels.
It's great, isn't it?
And the thrill that I got was like, oh, I love this, because I was at the centre leading the charge.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. But I think it goes back all the story you just said about being, the kid in school. I mean, it's that thing, isn't it? It's just you're out there, and because being a singer is an incredibly hard job. We know that. Other people don't, but we know it. But it's for moments like that when you're on stage and everyone's looking at you and applauding and everything.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing, isn't it?
What I think it reminds me of is that actually we have these dreams to do these roles. I would love to sing Tosca one day, but finding the roles at the right time when they suit you. It's really important not to rush.
Yeah.
Have patience, and the right roles will come to you. And if you work with people like you have been so great at that with me, at knowing when is a good time to give you a role.
Mm,
And because you've seen me from being this very insecure, oh,
mm,
I've got imposter syndrome, which I still have, I've learned to battle it a little bit. But something like Oscar at the time was perfect.
yeah.
It's not right for me now.
No.
But the next role I did, I think we
Yeah.
had the pandemic then, though, didn't we? So
Yeah. I
there
think it
was
was
a little
back
bit
to
of
Violetta after that.
yes, it
Yeah.
was, it was.
Yeah.
And then so it's building up, and that would be my advice to any young artist would be have patience and trust that the right role will come at the right time.
I think that's right. And I have to gauge that because it's easy for everyone wants to run, obviously. But we have a lot of people to choose from. But when you get into a real understanding with someone, which is because I'm there every night, I
Yeah.
see you and perform. And in rehearsals as well, you can start gauging it. And I think that we went to, I think maybe Michaela and Carmen after that.
That's
Was
right,
that
we
right?
did, yes. Yes, yes. It was the Violetta again after the
Yeah.
pandemic. And then Michaela.
Yeah. And then when I keep coming to you with these roles, I went back with Gilda in Rigoletto. That's the thing. I mean, obviously we know each other well, but just for anyone listening, what's the first thoughts when people offer you jobs, when they give you a job? Obviously, you're pleased you got a job, but what goes through your mind when you get a job?
The first thing for me personally is, oh, somebody else believes in me.
Right.
Somebody
Yep.
believes me, I can do this. So if someone believes me, and then I have the whole, oh God, uh, I don't believe in myself. So I have to
Yep.
do a lot of
How
self
quick are we talking about to get to that point?
opening night,
Right.
probably,
Right.
if it goes well. Even now to this day, like I've just done Violetta for us again, and it
Hmm.
was my third or fourth time of singing Violetta. I've sung it
Hmm.
for another company as
Hmm.
well, and I even now, even though I loved it and it got great reviews, and I was felt really happy at the time, I look back and I go, oh, I need to improve on this. I need to be able to do this if I do it again, and you know, I think it's a never-ending
I
battle.
think that's right, but I think that's not that bit of it. I don't think it's a bad thing. Dealing with demons is a different thing, but dealing with that's not, because that's what makes artists great.
Yeah,
What can you improve on? Because if you're walking away thinking, "I've done it all now,"
yeah.
as Violetta, that would be a worry.
Oh, that would be, and I definitely will never think that.
No,
But I
no, no.
think I care about this job so much. But what I care about is storytelling,
Mm,
and I really, really want to embody the character as 100% to however whatever the maximum that I
mm,
can, which sometimes comes to my detriment. Because well, when we did Pagliacci
hmm
2 years ago, which was one of my favourite things,
yeah,
I adored working with Martin. What I ended up having to do is because of the nature of the show,
hmm
and I'm very happy to talk about this, but I had to go to therapy afterwards for a few months because it had drudged up all these things. I was,
yeah,
oh my God, I was treated like this by an ex-boyfriend who I won't name.
hmm It's in
But
the extras.
it's
It's
in the
in the
extras.
extras from there.
But
Yeah.
all of these things, a lot of it I could really relate to, and I went there with it.
Mm,
And at the time it was wonderful, but afterwards I was left with all these, where do I now put all of
yeah.
these thoughts? So it actually was really, in the end, very cathartic and very,
Was it cathartic? I was going to say
it
that's a
was,
problematic,
it was
but
good job I did because I hadn't realised I was
mm,
harbouring all these feelings.
mm,
And it's made me calmer.
mm.
And yeah, I mean, I could talk about that for
Well,
hours.
let's talk
So
about that a bit, because I think that with some of that during the show, because obviously we provided support during the show.
yep, you
We
did.
got a domestic abuse charity involved in the
Hmm.
piece as well, and a lot of people were saying to me, "Oh, it's so woke and everything," which I sort of hate. But on that one, because it was genuinely violent,
Yeah.
but it needed to be. I hate the sort of glamorized
Mm.
violence in operas, because if a lot of women do die in operas, but if you're going to make that a glamorous version as well, it's even worse.
Mhm.
So I think Martin's version of that with David, but
Oh
Philip,
yeah. Yeah.
it was harrowing.
It was really harrowing.
Hmm.
And I think when you're putting yourself in that position, so David was great because I
Yeah.
could talk to him. What was really good about the rehearsal room is that actually I was the only woman in the rehearsal room. I
Right.
think there was one other actually on the in the stage management
Mhm.
team. But on the first day, Martin Lloyd Evans, amazing director, said, I am very aware that Ali, you are going to be the only girl in the room and you are the one that's suffering this.
Mm.
And if there's at any point you feel uncomfortable,
Mhm.
you say, which for me is good because I'm very happy to tell someone when I'm feeling uncomfortable. Some people might not feel that way.
Yeah.
So, but I have no doubt that he would be able to deal with that if it was somebody else.
Yeah, sure.
So you're in a predominantly male environment talking about this woman who is being just abused horrendously by her husband, by other people in the cast, in the Pagliacci cast. But I was so into it. I started listening to songs about domestic abuse. I started like researching it and felt so like this is how. And I think it's one of my the things I'm the most proud of is my performance of that, because I went there but afterwards I was in this terrible mood. Like I was taking it out of my poor husband who suffers. My post-show blues are normally bad, but this one, I then said, I think I need to talk to somebody about this because I keep thinking about things in my past and getting really angry that I didn't do anything about it at the time.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
So just going to therapy was amazing. I have friends I can talk to, but there's just something different about being able to talk to.
Yeah, no, sure. I mean, I should say, just in our slight defence, it's very unusual for us to have a male team.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because
and it's just the way it happened. It's Pagliacci. It's going to be like
but
that.
I think because as well, we've had a lot of. I'm very proud of our creative teams. We've got, without question, the best gender balance in any company in this country. Absolutely. I can say that as fact. That's without question. But I think that it's interesting that the best thing about all of this is about the talking about it and being able to talk to teams.
Yeah.
But obviously afterwards it's very different. But obviously there's a lot of roles like that. When you were doing, but I'm interested in this because I thought that performance was amazing. Absolutely amazing. But with Gilda as well, very difficult. But when you list those roles, so we've got the Violetta Young Artist, the Oscar in Ballo, Michaela, Gilda, and that's right. Is it next?
Yeah, Gilda,
Nedda. They're good roles.
They are amazing roles, James, and they're roles of operas that are done quite a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Which really works well for a singer because if it's done a lot of the time,
for sure.
oh well, I've done this role, I know this role.
But I think you mentioned it in there anyway. But last year, season just gone, 2025, you came back to Violetta because you'd done Young Artist Violetta in 18.
Yeah.
Shared the role with Lauren Fagan in 2021, and 2025 you're back and it was yours.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
That did feel nice. I love Lauren. She's wonderful.
We all love Lauren.
We all love Lauren. But it was just so nice to say, right, now I can take this and take it. I had gone to do it for another company as well, in a completely different production. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it.
It's going to be like that. I don't know. Other companies don't exist, but yeah.
No, other companies don't exist.
No, of course. Where did you perform it?
That was at Opera North.
We love Opera North.
Yeah, they are. They're wonderful. That was in 22. And I sang it there for them, which was wonderful, but a totally different take on the whole opera, which happens. But to come back to the very first Violetta that I'd sung and to do it, and to work with Regula, as I said, and Matt and you and everyone, and so many of the chorus that were in the original are still in it as well. So we all have these memories, and just there's something so heartfelt and true about this production.
It's a great production.
It's an incredible production.
And I think that we all, I was talking to Nick Garrett, who's the Baroni, and after one of the shows, so it just doesn't stop feeling great doing this show. No. Everyone believes in that show so much.
Yeah, and that's so important as well. Yeah. If you have one person that doesn't believe in it, if you can feel it, it ripples through.
Yeah. But let's go into that, because this time, in between the Violetta the first time and the Ballo and Maschera, you had a baby.
I did.
You had a son. I'm interested to hear about what it was like then, and we'll come to the present time in a moment. What it was like then, what it's like as a young mum, as an opera singer.
I think if you've got the right support, it really works. It's hard. I think being self-employed and having a child it's always going to be hard. I mean, applying for mortgages, which we're doing again soon. People don't really believe in you as a self-employed person. Even though we've been paying rent for years and years and years, and then we've had 2 mortgages, which we've never missed a payment. It's still, but you're self-employed, and so being a mum as an opera singer, finding time to practice, finding time when you're not exhausted, which doesn't exist, by the way, just so you know, that doesn't. You're always exhausted from many things, because not only are you controlling your own life and thinking, right, what's my trajectory? What have I got next? What do I need to learn next? You're then thinking, right, my son Ted, what's he got at school? Oh gosh, he's got non-uniform day. You're doing two things, and I'm really lucky to have a husband that is very, very much hands-on, takes a lot of the responsibility, particularly at the moment as I'm expecting number two. And but he's also a singer, so he understands and he helps. I live in a town where my parents are there, my sister's there with her children. I can call on them, so I'm in a very lucky position. But I think if I didn't have that, it would be a real struggle.
It's tough.
It's really tough.
I mean, I know that we're proud of this, but we, as you know, we have we put our schedules out, rehearsal schedules, very early.
That was going to be my next thing to
Was
say.
it? I should have let you say it first.
Well,
then,
having an advanced schedule is like the best Christmas present you could give to a parent, because, as I said, you're always looking ahead. So you need to provide childcare, especially in the summer.
Ali, let's put this into context for people that wouldn't know. So regularly, opera companies would put a schedule out for the next week's work on the Friday before, the Friday morning before, for the following week. And what happens then is that it makes it very hard to do childcare.
It does.
At late notice. And probably you can obviously get it, but I guess it's more expensive.
It's more expensive, and also a lot of the times the ones that is the most frustrating, and it doesn't happen to me very often because if I'm doing a bigger role, you're just expected to be in all the time. But sometimes you're on your way into work and you've got childcare sorted, and then you get a call saying, actually, we decided we're not going to use you today, so you can go home.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a gift because you think, oh, great, I'm going to stay and, do some self-care. But you've probably paid for the childcare. And if you didn't need to, that's also, on the flip side of that, very frustrating.
Well, it was because Kitty and Anna and everyone came to me from Swapra years ago and said, this is what we could do with it. And it sounded such a good thing.
Yeah.
And Swapra is supporting women and parents in opera. And they were saying to me at the time, you're great for us because you're not a woman, you're not a parent. So I had no skin in the game. It just felt like a really great thing to do.
Yeah.
And I feel it's good that a lot of people are really benefiting from that now.
Massively. And I think I understand it's a tricky thing to do. You're getting a lot of people to commit to the same thing. And that isn't, of course, sometimes it doesn't work all the time. So as a parent, I sort of I think, I've got to give a bit as well. If that happens, you allow it. But just to be able to you are definitely going to be in on these days, then at least I know what I need to prepare for.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing going forward.
Yeah.
We talked about being back in the room with Radula this year, which was wonderful, and the Traviata this year was amazing, as we've said. But as you just referred to, you are pregnant now.
I am. It's not pies.
It's not. But you were very early days of pregnancy in the beginning of our rehearsal period.
Yes.
So do you want to talk through that, how you were feeling about that, coming in to do a role again and telling people and everything?
Well, it was a very, very busy time because I was at the Opera House doing Frasquita. So it was my Opera House debut,
Very nice.
plus starting rehersals for Violetta, which is no mean feat.
No.
And I found out the day of the Opera House opening night, I'm pregnant.
Is that right?
Oh my God. It was sort of planned, but didn't think it was going to happen so quickly. So I was like, okay, get through this opening night. And then
That was the opening night.
That was the opening night. Get through opening night, and then I can think about it. And someone handed me champagne. I was like, oh God, no. Like, it was all starting to come into realisation. And normally when you get pregnant, you think, right, who are going to be the first people I tell? My first people were, I need to tell Regina and James. Well, apart from Lawrence, I'll tell Lawrence first. But yes, so I immediately thought, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need lots of help. Because when I was pregnant the first time, it was lockdown. So I was lying on a sofa watching Netflix all day.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
But this time around, it's going to be very different. I was rehearsing 10 till 5 and then going to the Opera House for a 6 o'clock makeup call.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of that time. Which I would normally be like, yes, I can do this.
Yeah.
But I had the most horrendous morning sickness and it was so hard. So I remember on the first day, we'd had the meet and greet, and then I just said, Regina and James, can I have a quick word? And grabbed you out, and you said, I know what you're going to say.
Yes, I did.
And you were completely right.
Yeah.
I was like, I've just found out I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
And the first thing you both did was give me a huge hug and say congratulations. And that's what Regula did as well. She was like, this is the best news, because you do get scared to tell people. You don't
tell
want
people
to
you're
tell
working
people
for.
you're working for. Yes. Yes, exactly. Tell
It's a
people you're working
sad
for.
thing, isn't it?
It's a sad thing because, of course, as a business owner, which you would know, you would probably think, "Are you going to be okay to do this?" And
Mm,
and I've had emails to my agent from some companies, smaller companies that I'm doing concerts for in the
mm,
future, saying, "I've just seen that Alison's pregnant on
mm,
Instagram. Is she going to be
mm.
okay for this?"
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Come
difficult
on,
one. I mean, for us,
it
we
is.
were just because I think how seriously I take my job and the company and
Yeah,
everything, but it's also there's real life going on
yeah,
around it, and the best thing to do, obviously, that was the best news. We both gave you a hug. I remember that
it
really
was.
clearly. But then you felt because then we had you back in the rehearsal room, which
Yeah.
is the other thing. No, everyone, as you did, let me joke on this really, but everyone was saying she's acting like sick really, really well. And me and Regina was saying
Like,
she's not acting, she's not acting. But that was tough for you, wasn't it?
it was tough. It was so tough to one point when it was the tiredness as well of doing the
Yeah,
two, but also how intense you have to go. And I was like, I know that I can do this.
yeah,
I can give more. But when you're singing from every bit of,
mhm,
tummy muscle strength that you
mhm.
have, and you're feeling like, if I do that, I'm going to be sick. It was, and at one point I was singing, I remember it was me in the Jamon scene, and I was singing and I was outpouring out all this. I just went, ah, and burst into tears. And Regina just came and gave me this huge hug. And at that time, only a couple of people knew what was going on. So I think Michelle, the beautiful Michelle, was just like,
What's
what is
going
going
on?
on? And I told him actually at the opening night at the party afterwards on
Right.
the opening night,
Yeah.
and he was like, "What?
Yeah.
Oh my god!" And it actually gave me this. I just did that. I just got through
Mm,
this really intense period of feeling horrendous.
mm,
But I got through it because I had support from you, I had support from Regula, I had support from the very few people in the room that did know.
yeah.
You would come up and say, "Are you going to be okay? Do you want to stay in London tonight?" You were just, it was
Oh, I'd
so
forgotten that.
helpful.
That was
Yeah.
nice of me,
It
wasn't
was
it?
very
That
nice
was
of you,
nice of me.
James.
I've
It's
forgotten that.
lovely.
But I
Now I
think
can always Hilton now.
yes,
Never lower.
but I think it's part of our job, my job, but just to look ahead for that because we're employing you to do this amazing job, and it's difficult. Then, and if you're seeing tiredness, genuine tiredness, and we want to look after you because we love you, and it was just seems what can we do to make that better? But I think the big thing is general support because if we
Yeah.
all know, and I just thought the other side of it, it was great that you told us straight away, first day, bang, and then we know where we are,
Yeah.
and
I
which
think
was
so.
which was great. Yeah, it's sad when you hear about some companies being a bit funny, and I
Yeah.
hear stories like that all the time.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I haven't experienced it completely firsthand, but I have
Yeah,
heard things, and I'm auditioning at the moment for when you audition for things, you audition for quite a few years in advance.
yeah,
But even at the moment, myself and my agent have both decided it's probably best not to audition right now
hmm,
because I don't feel like I'm singing 100% my best.
yeah,
My best. My lungs are crushed
hmm,
currently,
hmm,
and so for me personally, this won't be for everyone. But for me personally, I think I'd rather wait
yeah,
until I'm feeling fit again and feeling a
yeah,
bit stronger to go and do it. Because I just know that there's some people will have a preconception. Some
yeah,
people might say, "Oh, she's pregnant."
yeah,
Next,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
happens. It's and we've got a long way to go with that. I think
Yeah.
you
No,
can have the vision that you can have a baby and also then be okay.
yeah. Well, you were singing last time when we did ballo. Was that quite no? The Violetta,
Violetta.
the second time was not long after Ted
Yeah,
was born. How
10
long?
weeks after
10
Ted was
weeks.
born.
Well, that was fantastic. That one.
It was great. I mean, I look back on it and, again, it was the development of the role still at that point. I
Mm,
was still getting, and I just had a year of basically not singing in
yeah,
lockdown.
yeah,
So I haven't really got a proper,
yeah.
I've forgotten the word, but I haven't really got a proper way of looking back and thinking, oh, it's the same this time
No,
round because it was such strange
but this
circumstances.
time with our new young artist
Yeah.
there, we for next year we haven't announced it formally yet, but we can talk about it now.
Okay.
What are you going to be doing for us next year?
I'm going to be singing Rosalinda in Die Fledermaus, and I am so excited that I don't die in this one.
It makes a
Spoiler
change,
alert,
doesn't
but
it?
yeah.
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 It's a nice role.
Oh, it's wonderful. I actually met my husband doing Die Fledermaus.
Oh,
We would, for Clonta Opera, we were just about to go
very
onto the
nice.
opera course in Guildhall, and I was covering Rosalinda.
Mhm.
And it's the funnest, most sparkly, hilarious show, and I'm so excited to be doing
going to
it
be great,
again.
isn't
It's
it?
going to be brilliant.
And was you surprised when I offered you that one? Was that out of the blue? I can't
I was
remember.
hoping you would, because I'd heard rumours that you might be
Had
doing
you?
Play the Mouse, and I was really hoping, because I love comedy. Comedy is something that I haven't managed to do very much, because these roles, obviously, I die a lot in all these operas.
Yeah.
But to do comedy, I find I get so much enjoyment from it. So I'm really, really excited to explore it. But also, it's quite a sweet story. There are some things that we'll have to work around,
Yeah.
because old-fashioned storytelling, you have to put it into, make it work for you in these times, and make sure that it's it works. But I love exploring stuff like that. I can't wait.
But when I was talking to you about that then, so, we said about the roles we've talked about over the years, about timing. You felt that was the right timing, that one, as
Yeah,
well,
I
Play
do.
the Mouse. Yeah.
I think so. I think as well, I know what it's like post-birth, and
Yeah.
being postpartum, and I'll be, hopefully by then, getting back into the gym, and
Yeah.
I'll feel like that will be a good role. If I was doing something like Violetta, or something slightly bigger, like I've just sung Mimi, and that feels really good at the moment, but it might be different being absolutely exhausted with 2 children, and
Sure.
knowing what I've got lined up next year, which I'm very lucky to have a nice full diary. It's perfect, because it is. I can take it very seriously, which I always do.
Yeah.
But I sort of already know a lot of the music, so that's sort of already, that research is already there. But so I can go into it thinking, okay, this isn't a completely brand new
No, that's great.
role, and
The timing, as you mentioned before, is an interesting one, because I remember when I offered you Nedda, you said something, I might be misremembering it, but you said something like, my singing teacher told me this week I should do that role,
Yeah.
or something. Is that right?
Had a
Or if I
singing,
misremembered that?
No, you were absolutely right. I'd had a singing lesson, and I was doing Gilda, and I went over some stuff, and he just stopped at the end of the lesson. He went, Nedda might be a good one for you. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe, thinking, maybe. And then literally, I think that night I came and sang a show, and he went, Nedda next year.
Yeah. It's funny. That's a nice timing thing. But we're going to wrap up in a minute, Ali. But I think we're going to do a couple of quick fire questions.
Oh God.
So this is, my team say this will put the person under pressure, nice pressure.
It
So
will.
I'm going to have to read some of them. But let's go through. So just first answers only.
Okay.
Think
first
quickly.
answer.
Okay. Favorite opera?
Oh, crap. La Boheme, I think.
Favorite role that you've already done?
Violetta.
Favorite role that you'd like me to give you?
Mimi and La Boheme. We'll talk after.
We'll talk after, yeah. Pre-show rituals, any?
Yes, I always have a cup of Earl Grey tea, because it's just something now that think is superstitious. Even if I only have a couple of sips of it,
Okay.
like I have to have my Earl Grey tea. Stretching and going to the gym in the morning is my newest one, but I won't be doing that.
Okay. Interval snack?
Banana.
Always?
Always.
Post-show ritual?
You already know.
I do know this. That's why I put it in. Go on. Post-show
I
ritual.
normally drive back home, so I stop at the drive-through McDonald's and have a double cheeseburger, and sometimes chips, and sometimes a McFlurry.
That's fantastic. You just had 1,000 people all applauding you, Violetta. It's wonderful.
If
Absolutely
McDonald's
wonderful.
want to sponsor me for my next role.
But
happily obliged.
listen, thanks for coming in today. I mean, I'm so proud to know you, as I said in the introduction, and the work we've done together, I'm really proud of. So thank you for everything.
And thank you for everything.
And here's to lots more.
Here's hoping Mimi La Boheme.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Ali.
Thanks, James.